Alright, guys. Yesterday, went and picked up my new bonafide ss107 at Lodi Headwaters Kayaks. And this morning, we are here at Wyandotte Lake. And we're gonna do a little review walkthrough of the kayak. I've been looking at these kayaks for a long time. There's really not a whole lot of good videos on them. Like, every time I look at kayaks or I'm looking to buy something, I like looking at the videos and I like seeing up close good, you know, view of what I'm gonna buy before I go buy it. There's not very many on there that I thought were the best. There are some good ones, but thought I'd put another one on there. But not only are we gonna do the review, we're also gonna get out there and see if we can get on some fish. I haven't been fishing in a little while because of work. I'm not exactly sure what the fish are doing, but we're gonna get out there and see if we can figure it out. I'm sure they're chasing shad. Fall right now, so I'm sure they're fattening up and eating, trying to get ready for winter. I don't think it's too late for a topwater bite, so I have a frog tied on. I might tie on a buzzbait. We're gonna try it, see what happens. I also have a swim bait to imitate those shad that they're feeding on, and I also have a jig, of course, and Texas rig Cinco. We're gonna get out there and see what we could do. I got here a little late, so we're probably gonna get out there and do some fishing, and when we come back in, I'll give you a review of the bonafide ss107. Stay tuned, guys. Guys, the spot looks too juicy to just jump in the kayak and disturb any fish that might be in here. Looks like a juicy spot for some possible topwater, so before I get in there and spook any fish that could be hanging out right here, I'm gonna go ahead and test my luck and cast this frog a few times. Could be walking this bait, probably might be a little better, but I'm super anxious to get on my kayak and get out there, so I'm just running it across real quick. Quick scan of this little area. Walking the top water is always one of the best ways to, you know, you stay in the strike zone longer, and it gives those fish a minute to, you know, decide if they're gonna hit it, I guess. But then again, sometimes it's better when they don't have that chance and you just run it across, because then they'll just jump on it. I'm just gonna run it across real quick because I'm anxious to get on my new kayak. It is beautiful out here this morning. Alright, let's get on the roof. And of course I decided to launch over here, and I have to cast a few times here now before I launch. It's not really necessary. There's a lot of good water out there to fish, but wow, this thing sits high. I love that about the bonafide. It's how high they're known for having the highest sitting seat, and man, this is comfortable. You can sit in this and fish all day comfortably. and stand, I'm sure, comfortably. I mean, on my old Ascend, for those of you who don't know, that's the Bass Pro kayak models. That thing sits on the floor, and to get up, I mean, if you want to know what it's like, just sit your ass on the floor and try getting up with no strap or nothing. And I mean, even then that would be easier because you're not in the water. This thing is nice, you guys. I'm so juiced that I bought this thing. This is gonna be dangerous out of this GoPro up here, temporary clipped on, so I can get that view because I don't have any other setup at the moment. Man, this thing's awesome. Alright, let's see how she paddles. Man, I'm super happy, you guys. This is a great birthday present. Let's see here. Oh, get used to that. Got this swim bait with a weighted hook. I don't know if you can see that on one of the cameras. We're gonna give that a try today and see if we can make something happen with it. On most kayaks, I mean, even now, I'm sure I'll want to stand up on this all the time, because that's one of the main reasons why I like the bonafide, and one of my main deciding factors when it comes to kayaks is that I could stand comfortably. But man, with this seat, how high it sits, I probably won't want or need to stand as much, because I don't feel like I'm sitting on the floor. I feel like I'm sitting nice and high. Shoot, I just bought some chatterbaits and buzzbait and left it in the truck. Left them in the truck, so I guess I won't be throwing that while I'm out here. I don't feel like going back. One thing I wish the bonafide had, which I bought rod holder, or actually my brother did for my birthday, a rod holder for the rails. But man, I really wish that they had the flush mount rod holders that come on most kayaks. It would definitely be nice to have. I was talking about possibly actually cutting my own holes and installing my own flush mount rod holders, which I might do eventually, but I mean, I just bought this thing, so there's no way I'm gonna buy it, go home, and cut holes in it right away. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you and say that it's more stable than the Titan that I used to have. Those Titans those are just big boats in the water. Those things are so big and heavy, so they're definitely probably a little more stable. But I mean, this thing is plenty stable. It has just a different feeling to it, which is a good feeling. I like it a lot. It's comfortable. You know, I'm new to this YouTube thing, and one thing I've always wondered is how do they always capture all the good fishing stuff? Because these GoPros, I don't know if you guys use them or not, but they do not hold charge for very long. So a few times have made videos and fished. It's hard to know or have the video filming the whole time, and half the time you're catching fish you weren't filming. So that's something I've always wondered. And every time I cast, or I'm running the top water or trying to fish, I don't want to run the camera at the same time I do, because I don't want to kill the battery, but I don't want to miss any action. I'm not at all complaining, saying I don't like the way this thing paddles and tracks, but it definitely isn't the best. But I mean, that's something to expect with the pontoon style hull that this kayak has, which, to be honest, I'd rather not be the best tracking and paddling boat, because I'd rather have that stability that the pontoon style provides. When I was at the kayak headwaters in Lodi, the guy helping us, Josh, suggested me to get this longer paddle, the 260. And at first I was a little skeptical, because I was looking at the shorter one that was a little bit shorter, and I thought it looked better and maybe might have been more comfortable. But he was 100% right, because sitting in this high position, you're a lot further from the water, and you need that extra length of the paddle to paddle comfortably and correctly. So thank you, Josh. You guys want to know something funny? I was just talking to the camera for a while and it wasn't even on. That's funny. I doubt that this GoPro captured that turtle down there. But man, that was the biggest snapping turtle I've ever seen. It was like this. I'm sure they get huge all over the world, different places, but here in California, what I've seen, the biggest ones I've seen are more like this, but that one was like twice the size. That was pretty crazy. Awesome sight to see. Another great reason why everybody should be out enjoying the outdoors and stuff like that. It was just awesome. I really don't want to leave here without catching a fish, but to be honest, guys, I might not be here much longer. I'm gonna get off the water, give you guys a little review, show you the kayak a little more. Alright guys, it's currently 10:12. We just got off the water. I was out there. I've been here since like 8, but it took me a while to get out there and start fishing. I was probably only out there for an hour and a half tops. But I mean, the kayak was awesome. I really like it. Super stable. Fishability is pretty awesome. I mean, there's only a few slight little cons that I think that they could have done differently, but for the most part, this is a great kayak. And we still got the kayak right here at the water. I'm gonna walk you through it, and I'm gonna start in the front of the boat, and I'm gonna work my way to the back. For starters, the handle, the carrying handle, is a hard plastic handle which is molded to the front of the boat. And instead of having the strap style handles that are here and you're always walking and it bumps against you, it doesn't last as long, and etc. This is a lot better of a style handle compared to the traditional handles you see on most kayaks. And you have your pad here, and you have, this is for the, they made this so you can set your paddle. You can stage your paddle and slide it through there and have it sitting there, so it's a good spot to keep it stored as you're fishing, easy accessible, and it's not going to move around. It's not going to bang and make noise because you have this rubber silence mat, so you're not going to spook off fish, and you can keep the paddle secure and ready and easy to use when you need it. They have these grooves, and you're supposed to be able to store your rods along those. I mean, it's not the coolest, best, thing. I feel like it's not the best design to have your rods just sitting there. I mean, it's better than nothing, but I mean, it works. But there's also through here and along these, this is seems like a good spot to also store your rods through underneath there, and that's a little more secure for you. Working our way back to the hatch, and as you can see, here's these squeeze knobs which opens the hatch so you can access it from this way. It's a large area to store things. You could even fit your rods, large rods, you could store them and slide them right down in there. But not only does it open from there, but if you're on the water and you need to access the hatch, there's these knobs. You pull these and you can open it this way as well, which is pretty awesome. These are also spots, grooves, I believe, to help stage rods on the deck of the kayak. This is one of the best parts of the kayak, if you ask me. Made in old USA. Nice padded foot pegs, foot pedals, spots I usually don't really use them, to be honest, but these are nice quality. I realize there's a hatch on the inside of this that helps you, or it holds it tight, or lets you move it. You have rails here for yak attack accessories, rod holders, cup holders. This rubber mat is pretty awesome. It makes it a lot more quiet for when you're fishing. You're not going to spook fish and have that banging noise you would if it was just hard plastic. The storage pod, which has these awesome latches, and it has a rubber seal here, and it really is pretty snug in there, so I feel like it's pretty watertight. But on top of that, I have a waterproof case that I keep in there. But what also is cool about that is this whole thing comes out. You can pull the whole thing out, so that's pretty cool. And it's also, unlike some kayak brands, it goes all the way through. So if you wanted to, that's perfect for if you want to have a fish finder on your kayak. You can mount the fish finder right on top, have the battery in there and the transducer right at the bottom of that, and you have your whole fish finder is right on that box. You can take it out and have everything easy to pull on and off. Next, the junk drawer, which I paid extra for on the ss107, the larger model. It comes with the junk drawer, but I paid extra for that. And it's awesome. You can keep things, just tackle you're constantly getting into, or other random things that you need while you're on the water that you could get to super easily. You just twist this knob and it loosens, and you can slide it no problem, and you twist it tight real quick, and then it's nice and secure. There's also grooves here for the butt of your rods, like I said, so you can stage your rods on the deck. So you put the butt of the rod there and good to go. I couldn't ask for a better seat on these. One of the main things, the reasons why I wanted this boat, is because of the height of the seat off the deck. Super comfortable to fish. You can fish on it all day. Easy to get up and stand and fish with that high-rise seat. Here, to adjust your seat, this locks it in. It's on both sides. and that's in the high position right now. And to put it in the low position, you just bend that. Put it there, put your latches, and that's in the low position, which is still a decent the distance off the deck compared to a lot of other kayaks. You have these pads back here as well, which Bonafide advertises that you can stand on those and fish. I mean, if you have super good balance so you're not afraid to take a splash in the water, it's not that bad. But I mean, I don't see myself doing it, to be honest. There's also these nice side handles, which for me is how I was able to move it myself. This makes it super easy because I don't want to drag it, but I could lift the whole kayak from this handle and carry it. There's also this slot for your paddle. Keep it stored. Latch that down, it holds and it's not going to go anywhere. Going back, there's also these bungees that come on the kayak as well, which is awesome. Something a must-have to keep your stuff safe from going anywhere, nice and tight. And Bonafide also has this hatch, which is 4 easy screws, so you can access the inside of the hull if you want to install an aftermarket rudder, power pole, any electronics to the back of the boat. It also has a spot already for a rudder. That hole that you see on the back of the boat there, that's for a rudder. And it also has the nice shape where you can drill holes and install a power pole if you wanted. And it's not the best in-depth review of the Bonafide ss107, but I feel like it was pretty good. If you have any other questions, I could definitely answer those in the comments. Drain hole down at that end on the side. I look forward to fishing off of this. Hope you guys look forward to me posting videos fishing off of this for a walkthrough. That's pretty much it for the ss107. Alright guys, so I think that's just gonna about do it for today's video. Quick little maiden voyage on the water, show you guys what it was like on the water, give you guys a quick little walkthrough. Unfortunately, we didn't catch any fish today. Bummer for me, probably a bummer for you as well, because I mean, we all like to see fish being caught in these YouTube videos. I got stuff to do. I was just happy I was able to get it out today because I am super busy. So after I take it out a few times and I've owned it for a little while, I'll make another review, you know, after owning it for a few months or using it for a few months, and I'll give you a more in-depth review and the pros and cons that I've noticed over the time. So look forward to that video if you want to see more on the Bonafide ss107, or if you want to see me fishing on the ss107. So hopefully you guys subscribe and tune in to our next videos. I'll see you next time.